Hello, what's up, everybody? This is your girl Bree coming back at you with Ready Truth TV. Um, Good morning, good afternoon, good night to anybody and everyone that is watching my channel. Um, we are dealing in the Kybalion, and we will be talking about the principle of polarity today. Okay, so I want to just thank everybody for tuning in. I can't thank you enough. Um, Hit the like, share, or subscribe. Um, so let's get into it. Okay, so the principle of polarity. Everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Extremes meet all truths are but half truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. Okay. This principle embodies the truth that everything is dual. Everything has two poles. Everything has its pairs of opposites, all of which were old Hermetic amaxes. It explains the old paradoxes that have perplexed so many, which have been stated as follows. Theses and antitheses are identical in nature but different in degree. Opposites are the same, differing only in degree. The pairs of opposite may be reconciled. Extremes meet. Everything is and isn't at the same time. All truths are but half truths. Every truth is half false. There are two sides to everything. It explains that in everything there are two poles or opposite aspects, and that opposites are really only the two extremes of the same thing, with many varying degrees between them to illustrate heat and cold. Although opposites are really the same thing, the differences consisting merely on degrees of the same thing. Look at your thermometer and see if you can discover where heat term- terminates and cold begins. There is no such thing as absolute heat or absolute cold. The two terms heat and cold simply indicate varying degrees of the same thing, and that same thing which manifests as heat and cold is merely a form, variety, and rate of vibration. So heat and cold are simply two poles of that which we call heat, and the phenomenon attendant thereupon are manifestations of the principle of polarity. The same principles manifest in the case light and darkness, which are the same thing, the difference consisting of varying degrees between the two poles of the phenomenon. Where does darkness leave off and light begin? What is the difference between large and small, between hard and soft, between black and white, between sharp and dull, between noise and quiet, between high and low, between positive and negative? The principle of polarity explains these paradoxes, and no other principle can supersede it. The same principle operates on the mental plane. Let us take a radical and extreme example, that of love and hate. Two mental states apparently totally different, and yet are degrees of hate and degrees of love, and a middle point in which we use the terms like or dislike, which shade into each other so gradually that sometimes we are at loss to know whether we like or dislike or neither. And all are simply degrees of the same thing, as you will see if you will but think a moment. And more than this, it is possible to change the vibration of hate to the vibration of love in one's mind and in the midst of others. Many of you who read these lines have had personal experience of involuntary rapid transition from love to hate, and the reverse in your own case and that of others. And you will therefore realize the possibility of being accomplished by the use of the will by means of the Hermetic formulas. Good and evil are but the poles of the same thing, and the Hermetics understand the art of transmuting evil into good by means of application of the principle of polarity. In short, the art of polarization becomes a phase of mental alchemy, known and practiced by the ancient and modern Hermetic masters. An understanding of the principle will enable one to change his polarity as well as the others if he will devote the time and study the and study necessary to master of the art. So, okay, with that said, the principle of polarity is, like we said before, hot and cold, love and hate, happy and sad, up and down, positive and negative, okay? These are polarities, but they are on the same poles. And what that means is, okay, you have love here and you have hate here, okay? But it's the same thing. It's on the same playing field because it's the same. It's just different degrees. It's just different degrees. And then you have the middle, okay, which is like or dislike. So love and hate, okay, and then you have the middle, which is like and dislike, okay, and that even goes with the positive and the negative. You have an in between all these poles, okay, and that's like or dislike when it comes to love or hate, happy or sad, so forth and so on. Okay, they just are the same thing, but just on two different spectrums. Okay, and when when you're dealing in any of these, love or hate, happy or sad, any of these, in order to understand, you have to understand that any of these poles, whether if I love you, I can hate you, okay? So meaning I love this person, but right now I hate them. So what you do, if you want to get back into that love, if you're hating someone, and if you want to get back into that love, what you need to do is change your mind, okay? We don't have to stay in an emotion. We can feel the emotion and we can let the emotion go and return back to love, that opposite pole of hate, okay? It's that simple. Even with positive and negative. In your mind, you know, you're having negative thoughts and you're being negative, but you can transmute that into positivity. All you have to do is change your mind, change your thought process. Okay? So, with that said, it's like everything goes back to the mental. If you listen to all um three of the principles I have done so far, and then this is the fourth one, in all those principles, everything goes back to the mental. So, with that said, it's a change of your mind. You have to change your mind. Even when you're feeling like you don't want to, you have to. And it's simple, but it's hard. You really have to study and um you really have to study um the principle of polarity. You really got to get the understanding, because once you get the understanding, you will understand that, yeah, I hate this person right now, but you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to just change my mind. And I'm not saying when you hate or when you're mad, you have to hurry back and go to the happy. It's a gradual, like, you know what I'm saying? It's gradually. You can't just go from hating or being mad at a person to just loving them like that. I mean, you can if you're a master, but if you're learning how to do this, it's not going to be that easy. Okay? It wasn't easy for me either. Like, I really had to have the will and really put in my mind that, okay, I might feel like this right now, but I still love this person. And over all this, I love this person. Okay? And when you master this, it will be so simple. Okay? And that's why I'm here for you guys, to help you understand the inside, the mind, and understand how this operates. And this that we're in right now, this is mental alchemy, okay? This is mental alchemy. If you master this, oh my gosh, you're going to be a master. Okay? So and I'm not saying a master as far as being somebody's master. I'm saying you're going to be a master over your mind, over your emotions, over your feelings. Okay? And once you can do that, hey, I would say the sky is the limit, but it's limitless. You will be this, it's past the sky, okay? Once you understand these principles that I am teaching, you will be like, man, why didn't I know this before? Why didn't I understand this before? Okay? So knowledge is power, people. Knowledge is power. And and it's so, once you read it, it's so self-explanatory. But if you don't understand it, you got to keep reading it over and over. Not the, whatever principle you're on. Don't move to the next principle until you understand the first principle, the second principle, the third. Like, you can't move to levels until you understand what you're reading, okay? So with that said, everyone, I just want to encourage anyone to really, that really wants to understand this knowledge. Like, I encourage you to reach out to me, because I'm here for you guys, okay? I'm here for you guys. So with that said, you can handle the truth. The truth will help you, will make you think. Peace, love, happiness, and light. Like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. I'm here for you guys. If anybody's out there watching and they're really, really, really serious about understanding mental alchemy, understanding self, comment, hit me in my comment section. Hit me in my email, readytruth@gmail.com. Okay? So I love you guys. Peace. See you next time. I'm out. Thank you.